So I just got a new car, and it's making me worried about the future of this podcast because
Okay.
my new car has Grok built into it, which
Sure.
it's a Tesla. The new ones have like their Grok, like the Grok AI thing built in, so you press a button and like you can talk to Grok and like it'll answer and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I was driving today and I thought, I want to see how this does with camera knowledge.
Sure.
And so I started asking it about the Sony FX5.
Did you say generate a podcast about the FX5 for me?
I should have. I should have tried that. What if it did? I mean, what if it was us? What if it used our past content and like synthesized our voices, and we just started hearing us talking through the thing? That would
Perfect.
be terrifying.
No notes.
I would just drive off a bridge.
You're like, well,
I don't want to
that's it.
Don't want to live in this world anymore. I asked it, tell me about the Sony FX5. How much does it cost? Give me the basic features. Kind of started asking it some questions. I was really impressed. It did a great job of telling me things.
It's like table stakes, man.
I know, but I think what was interesting to me was a lot of times I'm kind of annoyed. I mean, I know AI is incredibly useful, and I use it a lot now too, but sometimes I'm kind of annoyed when I'm searching for something on the internet and I get that big AI summary thing at the top.
Blah.
And I think I want to know the specs of this camera. I just want to go to like the manufacturer page or the B&H page or whatever. And like,
Right.
I just want to read it myself. Like I'm going to trust it more. It's going to be like less wordy, just give me the information. But I gotta say, having it in the car is really handy because,
Oh, yeah.
I can't be browsing my phone when I'm in the car, and
Even when it's driving? I guess it looks at you.
it looks at me. Yeah, it gets mad if you have your phone in your hand. And it was really useful to just ask it questions, and I felt like it got most things right. Like I asked it if the EVF was included. It told me it wasn't. I asked it about some of the specs. The only thing I was a little disappointed in is I asked it for competing cameras. And what Canon camera would you think competes with the Sony FX5?
C80.
That would have been my answer too. It said C400, which
No.
I don't think
Just
so.
no.
I think
no.
I think that's way up market from the FX5.
What is this? Grok in Sony's pocket?
I know, and I said, what about the C80? And it was like, oh yeah, that's a strong competition to the
Sure.
FX5. Like, oh now you agree with me. I see how it is.
Nothing drives me crazier than when AI agrees with me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it feels like it's manipulating you.
I know that there's like an option with Gemini where you can like check a box and it'll like use your Google profile to personalize its results. And I had previously tried using like ChatGPT to do some like run training planning stuff, and I would like feed it some runs and be like, okay, what should I do now? And try to like use it for kind of like training planning. And I kind of hit the wall with like the free stuff on GPT. So I was like, I already pay for storage for Google, so I get the pro thing. So I can try using Google. And so I've been doing that the last like 2 days. And it keeps dropping subtle like things about me. And I'm like,
is it trying to like ingratiate itself to you?
It's just weird. It's like, next time you get out on your Cannondale. And I'm like, you could have just said bike, 1. 2, weird that you not weird that you know that because it's Google, but like why
weird that you would reveal that.
Why would you bring that up? Like, why would you bring that up? Like I mentioned, okay, hey, like I'm gonna skip this run because like I have an event on Sunday, and it's like, yeah, so whenever you and your wife go to this event, and I'm like, never said I was married. It just keeps dropping like little hints of like, I know these personal things about you that you haven't brought up in this chat history.
It's kind of that one of those things where you know that they know these things about you, but you still just don't want to think about it.
It's
like,
just it's like a little creepy when it's like, how'd you know that? I never told you that. I know that you looked me up or whatever, but I never said that.
Yeah,
it's telling hand. I call it out every time too. I'm like, it's weird that you said that. It's like, oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Stop agreeing with me.
It's just digging the hole deeper.
Blah.
Do you ever use AI in the car?
I don't know how.
Is there a way to do that? There's got to be something with CarPlay.
I think that you can use
maybe like Google Maps or something. You can
I think people do like like GPT and stuff, like the voice, whatever, I can't bring myself to talk to any of these assistants.
Yeah.
I can only do text input.
Mm.
It feels too weird to like
Yeah.
talk to it and have
Yeah.
it talk back because
Mhm.
they're so like good at the whole language association
Mhm.
that it would just feel too weird.
Yeah, I mean, you know about all these people that are, wanting like an AI girlfriend or something? It's like a growing problem.
It's that it's that
Weird.
movie, man.
I
Just
know.
all over.
I know.
I still never watched that movie.
Mhm.
Her, I think.
Yeah. I feel like it's a real problem now, though.
Is it a real problem or is it a problem that like just keeps coming up because it's interesting to talk about?
Well, maybe both.
It's probably both.
Yeah.
Daniel, we got to kill this pre-show. There's way too much. This is our FX5.
This is we're talking about the FX5. I don't know what you're talking about. This is
FX5
on topic.
super episode.
Okay.
And like with the pre-show being freaking half an hour, we're never going home.
All right.
Well, you're already home, but we're never going home.
Some of us are never going home.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Camera Gear Podcast. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Lucas.
and we're here today to talk about the gear, software, and techniques we use to shoot photos and video.
So I'm reading a comment on Patreon. All right. Anyway.
All right.
Daniel, FX5.
FX5. We just talked about the FX5.
That was
I don't mean in the pre-show. I mean like 2 weeks ago.
it was like a taste. Was it not last week?
We talked about it last week, and we talked about it the week before. We had all those rumors.
Oh yeah.
But
now we can
who's in Sony's pocket now? Not us.
Not us.
I wish we were. I would love if Sony's listening. Sony, we would love to be in your pocket.
Just right on in there.
Just nestled on in there.
Nice and cozy.
Yep. Please reach out.
Yeah, perfect. Anyway, man, there's just there's one, there's a lot. Two, it seems that they announced it, released it. You can pre-order it, I suppose.
Well, Grok told me earlier it's coming out in mid-August. Is that right?
Yeah, it's my understanding. Yes.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can find it here on LOB. Yeah, August 18th is the expected ship date.
Good job, Grok. Nailed it.
It seems, though, that most of your typical camera reviewing websites and YouTubers and what have yous only had it for like 2 days or something.
Wow.
Like really short, review periods.
Like a first impressions rather than a review.
Yeah, it was a lot of like, hey, I only had this for a day. Hey, I only had this for the weekend. This is a first impression or whatever. There was still some pretty in-depth stuff. Like CVP had an hour-long video on this thing.
That doesn't sound surprising.
They always go really deep.
Yeah.
Anyway, even Gerald came out of retirement to talk about it.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So this is, I mean, we kind of postulated on it last week, but potentially the biggest release for Sony this year, for at least for video.
Yeah. That's pretty notable, I think.
So even though we've talked about it now, you said this is the third time. There may be a fourth time.
I don't know.
Could be. When it actually comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a fourth.
True.
So everyone already knows what the specs are.
Yeah.
So we should spend a good amount of time talking about all the specs.
Probably, yes.
What else would we do?
I mean, this is the Camera Gear Podcast.
Exactly. So pre-production so far, release price, $5,000. Sorry, $4,898.
Yeah, it's very precise. Get it right. Or $54.98 with the XLR handle.
I wonder how much it is with it doesn't say how much it is with the EVF.
The EVF, I think, is like $600 or $700, and I know it's sold separately. I don't know if they have a bundle of like camera plus EVF.
Not on B&H.
While we're thinking about that, one thing I know some people are upset about is that you can't use both of those accessories at once.
Right. Which
is kind of a limitation.
Much deeper down here.
Oh,
I guess.
it's on there. Okay.
I guess in considering that, they could have gone the FX2 route and put it in a rangefinder position,
Right.
and then that allowed you to have the top handle.
Right.
I don't know if that's better or worse. I feel like there was a maybe mixed reception on the location of the EVF on the FX2.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the inspiration to move it, or perhaps they knew that there might be third-party accessories.
Right.
Like I think that was it MIP something was potentially working on?
Mid 49.
Yeah, Mid 49. Thank you. Mid 49 is working on something to potentially bring, which is here's a handle with an adapter for so you can have top handle and the EVF at the same time.
So yeah, maybe it's something they let accessory manufacturers deal with.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is a new thing for them, where I mean, it kind of feels like it could be, where like maybe there'll be other future Sony cameras that have that same like connector on top. So
I think
you take this EVF and use it on other cameras.
I think the FX6 has the same connector type.
Oh, okay.
I think CVP tried connecting the EVF to the FX6 and it doesn't work. So there is some amount of compatibility
but I wonder
support.
if it's firmware or hardware.
Probably firmware.
Yeah, so maybe that could be an update or something.
Could be something that changes later, or maybe it's something where if they come out with an FX6 Mark III, two, that maybe it works with the same EVF.
Or a FX3 Mark II.
I mean, that's a really good question. Do you think? I mean, this is like way farther down, but Canon, whenever they came out with the C400, essentially replaced the C300 and the C500 in like one go.
Yeah.
Is the FX5 a replacement for the FX6 and the FX3?
Oh, that is a big question. I wonder if we should wait to answer that, because I feel like that's like it's pretty.
Let's just put a pin in that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to look at the specs and stuff more, but I don't know. That's a hard one.
I don't imagine Sony ever stopping a camera line in the way that Canon did.
No.
But with everything that comes with this camera, I think it's a legitimate question.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is there even room for an FX6?
Oh, I don't know. Let's come back to it.
Okay, so a lot of the big highlight, in title features here is this whole triple base ISO situation.
ISO. Yep.
Something that we've been talking about in the rumors, and whenever Canon did it with the C80 and the C400, how that was a nice improvement over what Sony's been doing with the FX3 and the A7S II.
Yeah. You jump up to that second base ISO and it's so high that you don't, a lot of times you want to be kind of in between those two exposures.
Yeah. Like you're better off, crushing down 12-800 versus trying to ramp up 800.
Right.
So they've added 4,000 in the middle. Comparatively, the C80, C400, their native ISO, I think, is 3,200 for that middle stop. This is 4,000. I don't know if that really makes too much of a difference one way or the other if you're trying to like compare the two. But I feel like 4,000 is like the sweet spot. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's a good mid range ISO.
Yeah,
I think.
big improvement. If you shoot in log or XOCN, it's 800, 4,000, 12,800. If you shoot in a Rec 709 profile like a Cinetone, it's 320, 1,600, and 5,000.
That's interesting.
So there is some stuff they're doing with the processing that changes the native ISOs for those types of, configurations.
Weird.
Also, supposedly, these aren't, it's triple base or whatever, but these aren't native ISOs.
Uh-huh. I think it's like triple base is different than triple gain.
Something like that.
Something
yeah.
weird. Yeah.
There's like a distinguishment in that, yes, 12,800 and 800 have pretty close to the same noise, but they are not truly the same.
Yeah.
They don't have the exact same noise profile. Like if you consider this to something like a Venice, those whatever base gain, whatever ISOs are actual native ISOs for that sensor, whereas this is like different gains on a sensor that only has one native ISO.
Yeah,
it's like a
weird.
little confusing, but there is a distinguishment between what this sensor is doing and what something like a high-end cinema camera sensor is doing.
Right.
But you're still getting 70, 80% of the same like impact as far as having this feature. It's interesting.
Yeah. I think it's a big improvement over the FX3 having that mid-range ISO.
Oh, definitely. The other big headliner here was the dual gain mode,
which is kind of similar to what we've seen on some of the Lumix stuff.
Yeah, we saw this on the A7R6, the S1 II, and not the Nikon Z6 Mark III, or the Nikon ZR.
Yeah, I don't think those have it.
I don't think those have
both new Lumixes do, the S12
Yes.
and the S1R2.
That's right. And this is very similar to kind of like what Alexa has done, where they pull an image off of a pixel simultaneously, and they run one through a high path and one through a low path, like two different gains, and then taking two 12-bit. This is probably 12-bit, not 14-bit. Two 12-bit images, and then they combine it into a single, image with higher dynamic range. And what that's doing, interestingly, for the Sony here, is it's like really cleaning up the shadows. And so, like, if you compared in dual gain mode, you can only shoot at ISO 800 on this camera. Like, you can't shoot at the other base ISOs. It only works at 800. But if you take like 800 and push it up to 3200 in dual gain mode, and then you shot at 12,800 and pulled it down to 3200, the dual gain 12,800 is cleaner still of an image.
Interesting.
And you just like how much recoverability you get out of the shadows is pretty good. Like it stops different in noise out of like when you pull up the shadows.
Okay, cool.
It's pretty good. Like it's much cleaner. And like you get a little more highlight info. It seems like Sony's implementation of the dual gain mode is like good enough that you would want to use it a lot of the time.
Interesting. I mean, in the rolling, the sensor reads so fast that you don't get like horrible rolling shutter, which is the problem on the Lumix.
Yeah, I think in the most extreme mode, if you're shooting open gate, 5K, dual gain, you're still only at like 18 milliseconds of read speed.
Yeah.
It's all very, very usable because of how low resolution the sensor is. It's like 16 megapixels.
Yeah.
And the only reason you may not want to shoot in dual gain, maybe a little bit of the rolling shutter, but the other reason is like you just can't. Like if you wanted to shoot in full HD, like 4.5K 17:9, too bad.
Yep.
You wanted to shoot at like a higher ISO? Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, that's weird that it's limited on that.
I mean, I think they're really kind of stretching the capability of the sensor to do these things, and so you kind of limited.
That makes sense.
Can't use it in slow fast mode, stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool that they added that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I am curious. So I dropped in a screenshot here of like how the Alexa does it just for reference, but that's neither here nor there. What it makes me curious, and this is maybe jumping a little farther down. This camera can shoot in XOCN LT. And when you shoot in the compressed RAW of XOCN, it's a 16-bit format. I don't know if this is pulling 12-bit or 14-bit off the sensor.
I would having to like upscale to 16.
I would expect that it's 12-bit.
Yeah.
So I've never quite understood. Like if you're not doing like 16-bit linear RAW, maybe they're doing 16-bit compressed RAW. I'm just a little confused as to if you're actually getting like a full bitrate readout off of this sensor, or that's only happening when you do the dual gain mode because it's taking two images and combining it.
I see what you mean. Like in what are you saying? Like in what scenario do you actually get a 16-bit image?
Yeah. Or are they just doing the thing that Fuji was doing on the GFX, where it's like here's a 14-bit image in a 16-bit container?
Yeah.
Unclear to me.
Good question.
Most of these mirrorless camera sensors, the sensor itself is not reading off at 16-bit.
Right.
I mean, even the Alexa 35 is reading off at 14-bit and then doing like the dual gain thing.
Yeah.
So I would be shocked if this was actually reading off at 16-bit. It's probably only reading off at 12 at best.
Right.
Maybe 14. And I don't know. Maybe those containers just have a little more room in them. But it's like they advertise the XOCN on this as like, it's just like a Venice. It shoots 16-bit compressed RAW codecs. And it's like, you say that, but also is it really taking advantage of that full codec? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not actually giving you 16 bits of data.
But maybe it is in dual gain mode.
It could be because the information might be there in dual gain mode.
And that's kind of why I bring it up is, do you actually stretch the legs of XOCN LT in dual gain mode?
That's an interesting thought.
Isn't it? Isn't it, Daniel?
Are the only two cameras with XOCN the Burano and this?
Venice.
Oh, does the Venice have it too?
Yeah, Venice has it too. That reminds me, I was going to look something up about the Burano.
Time to use your AI.
Yep, got to use the AI. All right. So what else? I think those are the main like big features, right? Everything else is mostly just like interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting camera, but those are maybe like the biggest notable things.
Yep. So it does the slow fast mode stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you went back 3 years ago, 4K to 120 would be the headline feature of this thing. Sure. We all losing our biscuits about it. Oh my gosh, it shoots bringing 4K 120.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, in a firmware update, in a cropped mode, because this is a 5K sensor, you'll be able to shoot 4K 240.
That is twice as fast.
Twice as fast, but not yet.
Not yet.
There's
a vaguely promised with no real timeline firmware update.
There's a few of those like promises around this camera,
which is a little weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
They're promising 4K 240. They're promising a vertical shooting mode, open gate in H.265. Right now it's only XOCN. A 5K 120 open gate mode, and a 4K 240 full frame crop, which we already mentioned.
It's like buying a video game where you know you're going to get all these patches and updates and stuff after it ships, and it's not bonus content. It's not cool. We're adding stuff. This was not done when you bought it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of how this feels.
Why do you think that they felt they had to push us out before these features were ready?
That's a good question. I mean, I know people have been clamoring for so long for either an FX3 successor or an FX6 successor, and I wonder if they felt like they needed to get something out.
Do you think it was the hardware was ready and the software wasn't? Or is there something coming?
Is there something coming?
Like a Fujifilm XF Eterna.
I don't think that's coming
Sony was
anytime soon.
So threatened by Fujifilm's upcoming cinema camera.
Oh my gosh.
That they had to. You heard it here first, folks. Breaking news. Sony had to rush out the FX5.
Not buying it.
To beat Fujifilm to the market.
Not buying it.
Okay.
How many episodes in a row would we talk about the XF Eterna?
4 in a row.
It would have to be more than this.
Minimum 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so this sensor is not 5K. Despite all the huffing and puffing about it being a 5K sensor, it is in actuality, and you heard it here first, 4,992 pixels by 3,328 pixels. Look, Hollywood's
neither of those have a 5 in front of them.
Hollywood's been trying to shove 3840 as 4K down our throats for years.
That's true.
And they think that they've worn us down enough.
But now 4K is 5K.
This is as bad as Ford releasing a 5.0 Mustang that had a 4.9 liter engine in it and saying 5.0 is a brand.
Man, that really those savings really add up over time though. You got 0.1 every time. They have a lot of cars rolling off that production line. They're getting like whole extra engines out of that deal.
Probably. Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Same here with Sony. Where's my 8 pixels? Dang it.
Where's my 8 pixels?
4.99K Sony FX. They should have called it the Sony FX 4.99.
They should have. That would have been a much better name.
The pixel pitch on this thing is 7.2 microns.
That's pretty big.
It's huge.
Big pixel.
I mean, if you were comparing that to something like, I don't know, a GFX Eterna or a, Pixus 12K, that's like double the pixel pitch.
It's crazy. So probably good in low light.
I mean, especially with 12,800. Real good in low light.
Yeah. See in the dark.
Kind of better in low light than the FX3. Not like better, but it handles noise better.
Interesting.
It handles noise better because you can turn the noise off. Separately, you can adjust the sharpening and the noise, and you can completely turn it off.
That's a great feature.
It is a great feature.
Not every camera has that.
I was intimidated by shooting with no noise reduction whenever we tried out the Pixus. And I think that was one of the reasons why the image looks so good.
Yeah.
Was that there was no weird computational noise reduction happening, no processing. Yeah. The image just looks a lot more honest and you can do a lot more with it.
Yeah. And because you can always add it in post.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a 35.9 by 24 millimeter sensor. CVP said it was slightly smaller than the FX3, but technically that's bigger than the FX3 sensor because the FX3 is 35.6 by 23.8.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's just a wee bit bigger, but I don't know how much those sensor sizes really, like who's supercomputing on the extra millimeter or not.
Yeah.
It's stacked. Rumor was that it was global, but it's not.
I mean, but it's stacked and it's pretty fast.
It is pretty fast. We're looking at, like, if you shoot in like the 3.8K 16:9 mode, which is that's the whatever, like APS-C Super 35 crop in pixel for pixel, you can get this thing down to 3 millisecond read speed.
It's pretty fast.
It's pretty fast. If you're shooting in 5K open gate 8.51, and then once again, if you run that out to dual gain mode, it basically doubles it because it has to read it twice.
Right. It's good to see Sony actually, not on a global sensor camera, but just on these kind of smaller form factor full frame cameras. It's nice to see them, giving you good rolling shutter performance. That's always been a problem on those cameras.
They do tend to, in previous years, sacrifice rolling shutter for image quality.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like in this case, you're not having to make that trade-off.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes out to they have such a low resolution. I mean, this thing's like 16 megapixels.
Yeah, that makes it a little easier.
Right. So
I don't have to pull that much data off of it.
But that's the thing with video, right? Is if you're shooting pixel for pixel, it can save you a lot of processing power.
Yeah.
And if you're shooting raw, you basically have to have it pixel for pixel. And so I think that the fact that this is a raw style camera that shoots only video, it gives them the affordance to choose that sensor resolution in a manner that lends to better performance.
Good point.
And they can optimize for those things.
Good point.
So it's definitely interesting. I do think that with modern mirrorless cameras, an over-sampled image that's then like down-sampled, if you're not shooting in RAW and you're doing like a compressed codec and you're doing noise reduction and sharpening and you're still processing anyway, it seems like you can get a more detailed image out of an over-sampled like shot. But I do wonder if the FX5 is going to look better than an over-sampled image in so much that it won't look over-processed.
Yeah, because you can turn off the noise reduction.
But also it's pixel for pixel. It's not doing any sort of oversampling.
Yeah, it's like a more honest image.
Yeah. Although they may do an oversample from 5K to 4K. That I'm not sure of. But I doubt that they're doing that with XOCN. Anyway, they're saying that this is a 15-stop camera, which is the same thing they said about the FX3.
I just wish these companies would stop over exaggerating the stops.
I mean, I assume they like shoot it and they say, okay, with this much noise reduction, this is what you can get. I mean, I don't know how they do those tests.
It just seems like when like Gerald or Cinity or whoever does the lab tests, they never get a number anywhere close to that.
No, it's in all of the tests from people who are pulling out a xylophone. I know that's not what it's called. They're getting somewhere between like 13, maybe 14 stops if you're kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
So it seems like the dynamic range on this in non-extended mode is just kind of like par for the course.
Okay. So that's nothing stand out on that.
No, not necessarily. I think that where this thing really kind of shines is in its latitude on the low end. So
latitude on the low end.
Yes.
Okay.
Like if you overexpose it, you can get maybe 4, maybe 5 stops. So like if you're trying to recover an overexposed image, it's not substantially better than something like an FX3 or a C50 or C80 or whatever. But if you underexpose it, you can push almost like 6 stops and recover, which is maybe a stop or 2 better than the competitors.
It's so interesting this is why you have to test every camera that you're going to use, because a lot of times I feel like you always want to protect the highlights, and do that. But like some cameras seem like they do better with like overexposing a little bit and pulling it down, whereas this one sounds like maybe it's the opposite, where you'd be better off underexposing a little bit and then lifting it up. Yeah,
you're probably going to get a little more out of lifting it up. I mean, we've talked about like signal to noise ratios and that sort of thing, and I would expect that if you overexpose by, I don't know, a third, 2/3 of a stop and pulled it down, you're probably going to get a cleaner image comparatively. But it's more of a matter of if you protected the highlights and you have to pull up the shadows because you have a really dynamic range shot, the FX5 is going to do really good.
Cool. Especially
in the dual gain mode.
The DR mode,
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So a lot of people have kind of mentioned that this thing is exactly 1/4 the resolution of the A7R6.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And it seems that the chip in this is potentially the same base chip. Like it's the same construction as A7R6, but it just has, 1/4 the pixels, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Do you think once again, we're going to talk about, is this a replacement for the FX3? But boy, is this thing just like the FX3, but better.
It really is.
Is the jump from 4K to 5K enough of a boost in resolution over the FX3?
I don't think it's a meaningful jump, but I don't think that it's the only part of the picture worth looking at. Like, I think there are, to me, the additional base ISO, the better rolling shutter performance, like even just those two things, those are more meaningful, I think, than resolution.
I think that's fair. I think this still leans towards things being a 4K delivery, and Sony just kind of knows that 4K delivery is where most things are going to end up, and it's like, why provide more?
Yeah.
I really liked having, like, whenever we shot with the Pixus and being able to shoot in 8K as a default, it's like I can oversample. I'm basically shooting an oversampled image that I can, tighten down to a 4K to improve my dynamic range, to improve my noise, crop in post, and it gives me so much more flexibility to have an 8K image.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I even have the headroom to like jump to a 12K.
Yeah.
Because of how interestingly they designed that sensor.
Yeah, we really got spoiled on that.
Yeah, for sure. And I still think that there's value in that. I think that this being 5K is an improvement over 4K, and it's nice to have a little bit of cropping room.
Yeah.
You can, like, even just the way that I see it is, it's like, give me a room to apply stabilization in post. Like, give me just a little bit of extra trim so that I can do that straightening if I need to, and I can maybe apply some stabilization and not have to deal with now cropping in and then having to upscale the image.
Yeah.
And I think 5K solves that problem in a way that lets you continue to use a 4K workflow and then have a little bit of buffer. But it doesn't give you like the flexibility that a 6 or an 8K image would.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going to complain about having extra pixels, a little bit of room to adjust your framing, or your, if you're like camera's off kilter, you need to straighten it or something. And I guess the advantage is it's close enough to 4K at full width that if you shoot in RAW or something, like, you can do that. Whereas, like, if you have an 8K image and you shoot full width, you're having to crop way in on your image to get to 4K. So, like, that's kind of a plus. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would think of it as like a 4K camera, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 4K camera with some, a little bit of trimming room, or whatever. Got some edges. As far as low light and IR filtering, we kind of mentioned it before, but you can adjust the noise reduction yourself in camera to turn it off or whatever you need it to be. The Luma noise is still there, but the chroma noise is substantially less in this camera compared to like the FX3.
Wow, that seems meaningful for people.
Yeah, and like Luma noise is more pleasing to look at.
Yeah.
I feel like chroma noise stands out a lot more. That's something that I once again noticed with that Pixus camera. Was like, oh wow, this noise is actually not too bad because it's not a bunch of color.
Yeah.
And then the IR filtering in this is pretty decent, even with like some junky NDs. It does pretty good at handling heavy neutral density without too much magenta shifting in the shadows. And with this being a camera that you may be inclined to underexpose because of how much like latitude you're getting in the low lights and like the quality of the shadows and the lower noise in the shadows, you may be like, oh, I just underexposed, I shot with ND and I bring it up, and like if you got a bunch of IR leaking, it's that could be a real problem. It seems mostly controlled.
Now, this camera does not have a built-in ND.
Correct.
Yeah. So, because I know the Burano had that problem where there was a bunch of like weird color shifting and stuff, but that was because it has a like electronic ND built in. This one does not.
Right. Exactly. So it does not. Sorry, checking something real quick. Okay, it comes. You can buy it with that stinking handle.
Yeah, that's such a common thing now. It seems so many cameras have that.
What do you think of the handle?
I I mean, cool. You know, I think I still haven't quite gotten to seeing a place for that in my life. You know, I mean, my camera supports it. You know, and like the Pixis can do at least has an XLR on it, but most of the time I feel like we're doing audio externally and stuff anyway. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a nice feature. It's cool. It can do 32-bit float. I mean, they had to do this, right? Like, C50 has one. The FX3 had one. It's not surprised that they have it, but I don't know. It doesn't stand out to me, I guess. Like, is there anything special about it?
I mean, it gives you the ability to shoot 32-bit float. Yeah, you can connect a USB-C cable to a computer and do like cool. audio interface style stuff. So
that's cool.
I don't know quite. I think that people have said that it's a little short, which I know for me, if I have a top handle and it's too long and I'm like trying to hold my eye up to the EVF, I can like bonk your head on it or something.
Yeah, you're like poking your eye out.
Well, like you're not going to do that with this one because there is no EVF. And so it's a like, okay, cool. So you just kind of made it short to make it more compact.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those situations where maybe your pinky's going to hang off.
And it's like, this is like a $700 accessory. You guys couldn't give us another ounce of metal.
I think that for the FX3, Small Rig came out with an extender piece to like give you just a little more handle on the handle. So maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. It seems to have like a pretty decent number of like screw points and that sort of thing. And
cool.
You know, it works with the hot shoes, so like you don't have to have a separate cable. I think that for something like this, it seems like an accessory that you would just want to have unless you imagine you're going to be doing audio through other means all the time. But it's like it's a video only camera. You're not trying to like rig it out for anything else. It gives you 32-bit float, gives you handle to work with. I feel like even though the top handle's maybe like a little weird, it's probably an accessory most users would want.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if nothing else, you can use it as a top handle, but getting the 32-bit float's a pretty big plus.
For sure. I don't think it has any microphones on it.
I don't think so either. Most of them don't. It's just for XLR input.
It does have 2 XLR inputs.
Pretty cool.
And it screws in. So
screwing in is nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we talked about the EVF attachment already. That
a
thing
little bit.
is
Is it a good EVF?
It's like 3.8 million dot OLED.
Okay.
So it's an okay EVF.
Yeah.
Like it's not as good as the EVF that's on basically most Sony cameras.
Yeah, I mean 3.8 is a little underwhelming. Honestly.
5.76 would have been nice.
Yeah.
It's just kind of for what it costs. It's not like that good of an EVF.
Well, I think what's kind of disappointing to me is, like, on one hand, I'm thinking, okay, this is 5K, maybe 3.8 million dots is okay. You know, maybe that's not a big deal. But I kind of like I was saying earlier, I'm kind of thinking maybe they're going to have this accessory and you can take that same EVF to some future Sony camera. You know, hey, I want to upgrade to a FX6 Mark II later.
Yeah,
I already have an EVF. Cool, but make it more future proof. Like, I'd rather that be higher resolution.
I would too. I do think so. We talked about Mid-49 working on a potential solution. There's also like third-party cables that have existed for, I guess, other cameras that work here where you can connect a cable to the camera and a cable to the EVF and like have it just
reasonable
free-floating.
It's probably some standard connectors. That makes sense.
Which means that you could probably strap it into some sort of eye patch solution and then be like a cyborg and just have that thing just attached to your eye.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
It's like a step on top of what the Luna Ultra did.
Yeah. That had the little POV trackers. It's just like, just put that thing up there.
So, I mean, before Sony even considers an accessory that combines the top handle and the EVF, I think an eye patch attachment in order to wear the EVF with a cable is much more needed.
Do you feel like, because those are the types of ideas we have, do you think that's why we're not in Sony's pocket?
Because they're scared.
It's just too good.
It's too disruptive.
Yeah, it's true. They're not.
They're worried that we're going to give them these ideas, and then they're going to feel obligated to do them, and it could delay their timelines even further.
That seems like what it is. Yeah, they want to limit how many of these they sell. You know, they can only make a certain number, and they know if they made this eye patch product, they would just be flying off the shelves.
I mean, it sounds like one could easily make accessories for this.
I mean, you know how to sew a little bit, don't you?
Yeah. I'm a way around a needle.
You could make it. You could make the eye patch thing.
Look, so
we're starting a Kickstarter.
We're going to start a Kickstarter. We're still workshopping the name. We're probably going to call it the FX5R accessory.
Love it.
It's going to be very good.
Yes.
Perfect.
We'll get on that.
Perfect.
Check the show notes.
Yeah, link in the show notes. Anyway, so cool. EVF. I think ad nauseum people have talked about kind of the compromises there, but good that it exists.
Yeah,
and
good as an option.
If it didn't exist, it wouldn't be modular.
Very true. And they said that camera was going to be modular, and modular it is.
And here we are.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as autofocus, like this used to be where we would spend all of our time talking, and I just don't know if there's anything to say.
I mean, it's a Sony camera. Of course, it has good autofocus.
They slapped the Bion ZXR2 with the integral AI chip into this thing.
Yes. The integral AI chip.
Yeah, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like better, I guess. Better, like
faster than FX3.
You got like the human and the animal and the face and the eyes and it's like the birds and the trains and the cars and the planes and like it does the thing.
It sounds like a creature from the Book of Revelation.
It sure does. It sure does, Daniel. The FX5. Anyway, autofocus is probably better than the FX3. At least it's faster and like it's good. It's just like really good, and that's probably all you need to know.
Yeah, honestly, probably all you need.
You can only watch so many videos of people popping in and out of frame.
Oh my gosh, did Gerald do the thing where he like runs toward the camera?
No.
It's disappointing.
He didn't even leave his office. Man's got other things to do.
Yeah,
he's retired.
He's retired.
IBIS is better somehow.
That's a little surprising. I kind of thought they had hit the limit on E-mount with that.
That seems to have been the case for a while. It's the same IBIS system as A7R6. It has 8.5 stops of stabilization, supposedly, which is really good.
Yeah.
CVP did a comparison with the S1 II, and they felt that the S1 II is a little better in just like two steps back. Steady shot, active, and dynamic active are the three modes of stabilization on this camera.
Okay.
And steady shot is like just general use. And then they get increasingly better or more stable.
Are these like the tripod mode? Like, is that kind of what they're referring to?
They get more stable, or dynamic active adds a crop and adds some like EIS on top of OIS kind of situation. Mm-hmm. So if you compare steady shot, like the default mode, to the S1 II in default mode, S1 II is still a little better.
Yeah, nobody can compete with Panasonic on that.
But if you compare it in dynamic active to the S1 II in its locked off mode, FX5 maybe a little better.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Sony really picked it up on that.
Yeah, so like they're doing what they can. It's pretty decent. You can still pull like the gyro data off or whatever, and like it's fine. It's better than what it was. Probably still not as good as like on a gimbal or like a Luna or something like that. But yeah. Cool.
I mean, useful feature. I think we talked last week about how, sometimes for cinema stuff you don't want IBIS. And honestly, I think we kind of experienced that when we used the Pixis, where honestly, not having IBIS, I really liked the handheld footage we were getting.
I 100% agree. The handheld looked really natural.
Now, I will say
that camera was over 10 pounds.
I was going to say, as a heavy rig, and with this, you can use it handheld, more like a mirrorless camera, which isn't as much weight, and so IBIS is probably going to be helpful. But regardless, if you want to, you can send it to Sony, and they'll one-way convert it to lock down the sensor, which is still weird to me that that's not reversible, but at the same time, it's cool that they're thinking about that and like at least offering a way out for people.
Maybe we have to see whenever it comes out. It seems like if you're going to do that, like why not just order it like that?
Yeah.
Like I know I get that they don't want to manufacture 2 SKUs.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a matter of, could you like check the box, buy it, then have them lock it down before they ship it to you?
I wonder if you can, if you're a big production, maybe you buy direct through like your Sony rep or something, then maybe they'll do it then.
I'm sure if you're going to put this thing on, like permanently attach it to a gimbal and just use it like that, if you're going to use that as a crash cam, if you're going to put it on a drone, like there are reasons why you need to lock that thing down. And I think it's really helpful that they give that as an option for certain productions.
I agree. Yeah.
So good they're doing it. Really interesting how they're taking that approach.
Yeah.
Not something anyone I've never seen a company offer that service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think while they're doing it, they could like take off the they could convert it to an IR camera or something?
I don't know. Just tell them to get a razor blade in there and start scraping that IR filter away.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What else? What else, Daniel?
What else could there be?
There's a lot of discussion on the codecs, but I think that is out of position in my notes.
Okay.
So we're going to get to that later.
Yeah, what about the display? What'd they do there? Because it doesn't come with the EVF, so you're by default, you're just getting the screen.
It's bigger. They went from 3-inch to 3.5 inch.
Pretty good.
They didn't go full Nikon and go like ZR with the 4-inch screen.
Not everyone's prepared to go full Nikon.
Can't go full Nikon.
Yeah.
Would you prefer the Nikon ZR's screen, which is flippy only, but bigger and potentially brighter? Don't know that for sure. Or
sort of like the stars deep in the heart of Texas.
Correct. Exactly. Or big and bright, stars at night. Would you take the 3.5-inch tilty flippy 4-axis style screen that's smaller, maybe dimmer, on the Sony?
For me, for this kind of camera, I'd rather have the Nikon thing. I mean, the flippy whatever is good if you're filming yourself, but I'm not sure if this is really a vlog camera.
I mean, the Nikon's only flippy, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you get the bigger screen, right?
Yeah.
Because even when you have a flippy screen, you can fold it flat against the back. I don't know. I mean, I like the 4-axis tilt thing, but on a camera like this, I would rather have a bigger screen.
I think I would take the Sony one.
Really?
I think getting the option to be both team tilty and team flippy simultaneously is worth the trade-off over the 4-inch size.
Interesting.
Just personally.
I'm glad they made it bigger than the FX3. It's good to see that at least.
The Nikon ZR screen is clutch.
It is.
It was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just super nice. Okay,
there's trade-offs. That makes the camera bigger and all that. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about the body, Daniel. Talk about that body.
Talk about that body.
There are quarter 20s all over this thing.
Yes.
There's at least 5 quarter 20s.
Is it like enough that it would give you that phobia?
No.
There's a phobia with all the holes.
No.
Not that bad.
There's 3 on top. There's 1 on the right grip. There's 2 on the bottom. So you can put like a locking nice. Situation. Maybe you're putting it into a cage. Mm-hmm. No more spacemen.
Whenever you just pantomimed a cage, it was very large.
Yeah.
I mean, very large.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple feet.
Huge.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that every camera should have 2 tripod sockets on the bottom.
I agree with that. It's so frustrating that you can't. You have all these weird solutions from Small Rig where they're like clamping onto the strap connectors and stuff. But yeah, just put 2 quarter 20s on the bottom.
I mean that with no exception. Even the Hasselblad X2D2 that is photo only, 2 tripod sockets would be preferred.
Camp snap.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, how are you going to put your camp snap in a cage?
Needs 2 tripod sockets.
Yes.
No excuse.
It's literally less material.
Exactly.
They should make it cheaper. Right?
It should be cheaper. Totally agree. And I'll die on that hill.
You'll die on that hill.
All right. It's mirrorless shaped. I know there was a lot of consternation.
I would go as far as to say it's FX3 shaped.
It is like a chunky FX3.
Yeah.
It's got a built-in fan. They say, and by they I mean Sony, they say, can record for 24 hours nonstop.
Wow. That's a lot of filming.
Yeah. Just won't overheat.
Wow.
Can't do it. Can't make it overheat. I could make it overheat.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
Sony didn't send me to test. That's why they didn't send it to us to test.
That's true.
Because I would have made it overheat.
Yeah, you would say they can't handle the heat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I wouldn't have put the camera anywhere that I wouldn't go. I'm saying I'm tougher than an FX5.
Tougher than an FX5.
That's right. Anyway, it's got a tight wide rocker for all those power zooms.
Rocker, which Sony has a few.
Yeah, got a few of those power zooms. Yep. It's got a front and rear dial. Doesn't have a thumb wheel dial. It doesn't have 3 dials. How do you feel about that, Daniel?
I can accept it a little more on a cinema camera because I feel like you're not changing your shutter speed very often.
That is fair.
And that's the only reason I can accept that.
That is the only reason to accept it.
Yeah.
It has both a shutter and a record button, but it doesn't shoot photos.
I found that very strange.
That I don't.
I mean, I think what the reason though is probably for autofocus. That's probably why you have a shutter button.
Then why have the record button?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can say about any camera. Almost every camera now has a record button.
But for like hybrid photo video cameras,
I guess they have it as a quick shortcut to get to video.
yeah, like on the XS2S. You should record on both, but I could set the record button to like do a different thing, or go to a different record mode, or like I can have it. I'm in photo, shooting photo, and then I can hit the record button and just start shooting video.
Yeah,
like there's these things you can do.
There's
with
advantages there. Yeah.
In this case, what are we doing?
Are they both in the same spot?
No, they're both on top.
Oh well, but okay. But
they're on top, 2 fingers from each other.
If they had the record button like on the front or something, that would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Guess not.
I just don't understand it.
Guess not.
I'm sure you can remap that thing to something else. I would hope so.
It looks like it has an MF and hot shoe.
An MF and hot shoe for sure. Multifunction for days. Talked about the floating handle. We also postulated if it was going to be CF Express B or A. It's definitely A.
Yeah, classic Sony.
Now, if you want to shoot in XOCN, Sony strongly recommends that your CF Express Type A cards be VPG 400 cards, which are, I think, the fastest, CF Express Type A cards that you can get. That is 400 megabytes per second write speed.
That is pretty fast. A lot of data.
Pretty fast.
A lot of data.
Yep. It is using the new NPSA 100 battery. That
70% more capacity
than the FX3. That's right. Yep. 30% better battery than the FX3.
That's a big improvement.
Pretty good. The box comes with a dual USB PD charger.
Wow.
As in you could put 2 batteries in it and it's power delivery.
Wow.
Yeah. Comes with the charger for the batteries.
Amazing. On a $5,000 purchase, you get the charger.
How much do you think of the $5,000 that charger costs?
Oh, man.
At least 200 of it, probably.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah. Minimum.
That's a deal. It just makes this camera a steal.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to buy a couple of them just to get those chargers.
Daniel, did you expect this camera to have a full-size Ethernet port on it?
Absolutely not. That's really interesting, actually. I mean, it makes it seem like there's some sort of live production concept here.
I did not have that one on my bingo card.
Yeah.
What do you think is more important? A dedicated timecode port, an SDI port, or a full-size Ethernet port?
I feel like I would take either of the others over Ethernet. I mean, what most of these companies do is they make the Ethernet a battery grip situation. You stick the battery grip on there, that gives you Ethernet.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think this has a battery grip.
No, I don't think so. But I'm just saying, that's normally the solution to give you an option to get Ethernet. But
they could have put it into the MF and hot shoe.
They sure could have. I mean, I think maybe the argument here is time code you can do with an audio jack. So there is a way.
You can buy the USB-C adapter and go in that way.
For time code?
For time code.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, time code over USB-C.
They have a solution there, but they could have done that for the Ethernet too.
They sure could have.
And that's what they should have done. I mean, SDI you can convert from HDMI, so okay, but Ethernet's a weird choice.
I agree, Daniel. They should have put a third USB-C port on this.
I mean, probably.
Because it already has 2.
I wonder if you can just plug a hub in.
Maybe. Who knows? These are the kind of things that we would test if Sony sent us this camera.
You can probably just plug a Thunderbolt dock into that thing.
Oh, 100% would have plugged a Thunderbolt dock into this.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I wonder what that Ethernet's for.
It's for freaking live streaming, dude. Upload camera to cloud, man.
Camera to cloud.
Obviously.
You probably need it with those XOCN files. You're not doing that wirelessly.
No way. All right. We talked about the dual USB-C and USB-C power delivery.
Mm-hmm.
When they took away the thumb wheel, they added this cine dial situation.
Is this like the Eras dial on the Fuji Instax thing?
Unfortunately, I would have taken an Eras dial over the Ethernet port.
like hidden behind a little door on the camera.
Yes.
Very not apparent.
Mm-hmm.
The camera's out for for 6 months, and somebody finally like pries a little hatch open on the side of the camera, and there's just an arrow
it's
dial
really
in
hard to turn. You have to get like a penny, which they don't even have those anymore. It's only big enough for a penny.
Perfect.
And so you have to like find a penny.
Yeah.
Which who knows at this point. And then that's the only way you can turn the arrow dial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that idea.
It's perfect.
Imagine shooting footage from the 1930s in XOCN.
Look, we're going to connect it to a dock. We've got a built-in eye patch, and we have the penny-equipped arrows dial.
Sony, you need to call us up.
Sony missed all of these.
Sure did.
Because they didn't ask us.
Yeah.
So this cine dial thing, it's where your normal like thumb wheel dial would be. Like if you're holding the camera and you're reaching up and you're kind of turning it on the back half of the camera.
Okay.
Not like where a D-pad would be, but on the top right quarter.
Yeah.
And it clicks in. Like you can push down on it to click it in.
Like it tilts, or
like if you imagine a button on the top of the camera that's like hanging off the side, so you can like turn it and then you push down on it to select.
Weird.
A little bit.
A little weird.
A little different. A little different. It almost begs to think that. So whenever I use a camera, when I'm shooting video, more often than not, if I'm it's probably not fair to say more often than not. Frequently, when I'm shooting with a mirrorless style camera, I will hold it such that my like fingers are under the bottom of the camera,
you're just
and I'm
cradling it,
and I could push the shutter button with my right thumb, where my thumbs are coming down on top of the
that's
camera.
Because you're a freak of nature and you're too tall, and you have to hold the camera that low so that it doesn't look like you're spying. It doesn't make all your footage look like a drone shot.
Sure. With the FX5, in addition to the turny dial thing being a push down from the top, next to the record button is a joystick on the top of the camera.
It seems like it's sort of made for that kind of.
This is my question. Was this camera designed to be held such that you are operating the top buttons with your thumb? Or was it designed because it has the grip to be held such you are operating the top buttons with your index finger?
Well, maybe what they did gives you the best of both worlds, and that could make sense either on the top. If you're using the top handle, it's easier if the controls are on top. Like if you have it rigged up, like the way we have our mirrorless rigs, we have a V-mount battery.
Yeah, sure. Holding the handle with one hand,
you can still get to everything. The other thing that kind of makes sense for is if you're using it on a gimbal, because when you have it on a gimbal, usually the gimbal body is kind of behind the camera a little bit. And so having the controls on top might make it a little bit easier to access.
If you rigged this out cage style, maybe you put a V-mount battery on the back of it where you couldn't get to the screen.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe the controls are better on top.
That's not a bad idea.
I would argue that whenever you put a top handle on the camera, frequently, when in that case, one is holding the top handle with their right hand and moving the lens features with their left hand. Therefore, those buttons should have been on the left side of the camera.
Interesting.
I think this camera would have been better left-handed.
Left-handed camera.
They should have made the FX5 in left hand.
The first left-handed camera. You can send it into Sony and they'll convert it to left-handed, but it's a one-way only thing. Irreversible.
If that was an option, I would buy this camera immediately.
That's idea number 4.
It's number 4. Left-hand conversion for the FX5.
We're on fire today.
Honestly, Daniel, this camera could have been so much better.
It really could have. I mean, I came into it pretty impressed with the camera, and now I'm just disappointed at what it could have been. We're going to need an FX5.5 for sure.
I feel the same way. I feel exactly the same way. You can ship the eye patch in the box.
Yes. Bonus accessory, like first 100 orders get the eye patch included.
Please. All right, we talked about the joystick, talked about the record button, 2 2/4 20s, not 3 dials, dual USB-C ports. It's 35 grams heavier than the FX3, which I'm shocked that that's it.
Yeah, because it's physically like larger.
Just like a little bit.
Yeah.
It's so close to the FX3 in size that it's like, boy, is this just an FX3 replacement? I don't know.
Sure looks like an FX3.
It's dust and moisture resistant.
Like an FX3.
It sure does. Quack, quack. No specific rating, but it is dust and moisture resistant.
Okay. I mean, cool, but can't do much with that,
No danglies for the straps.
No danglies.
You can put strap on it, but no No like dangly
Yeah,
earpieces.
danglies really ruin the mood. So yeah, that's good.
Ain't that the truth? It's got 6 custom buttons.
Hey, not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
They have a dedicated clips button for playback, but you can't scrub when you're playing back clips. What else do you want to know, Daniel?
I'm looking at these pictures to kind of get a better idea here. I don't know.
Dual SD card slot / CF Express slot. So standard Sony ports. I don't think we mentioned that. There's no cover over the microphone or headphone jack.
Oh, that's a little unusual.
Yeah,
makes the moisture resistant thing a little interesting.
I mean, people do it on phones until they got rid of those things. So
that's true.
I don't think there's anything more interesting to talk about the layout of the feature. I think the button and wheel layout is kind of the most interesting piece of this.
Yeah,
that top button being a little weird.
I like the size of it. I mean, it's still really small.
Yeah, it's a good,
and compared to like a C80, this is much smaller
for sure. I think that it makes it quite, especially with the screws and everything on it, it makes it more modular in a way that a C80 is what it is. Versus something like this can be maybe a little more sleek, more gimbal capable, or you can build it out.
And especially with the controls being on the top, it feels like it would lend itself really well to being in a rig.
Yeah, for sure. So as far as image quality, colors, you get S-Cinetone and all that. The color out of the camera, especially shooting like the log profiles, matches fairly well to the Venice image as far as color science.
Cool.
Roll off looks pretty good. It's less harsh on the FX3, especially whenever you're overexposing. It kind of holds on to skin tones a little better, less magenta shifting. And the highlight roll off is just like a bit better than the FX3. So overall, this is an image quality improvement over the FX3 kind of across the board.
I would hope so, being newer, but that's good to hear.
I mean, it's like 5 years newer or whatever. Yeah. And much more expensive. As far as menus, they're ditching the photo menus. And they're going with the cine menus that you have on the FX, like the Burano and such.
It makes you feel like you really stepped up into the big leagues.
Sure does. You can like monitor all 4 audio channels, and like you can use false color, but you can't toggle it while you're recording. You got like zebras and histograms and vector scopes and peaking and auto exposure.
All the things.
It's just all the stuff.
Now I feel like I saw somebody say the menus were confusing. Why would somebody say that?
I think that if you're not familiar with Sony's cinema menus, which if you've never owned a Venice or a Burano, you probably wouldn't be.
Right.
There's something to get used to.
Yeah. That's I think it's good that they did that for this camera, though. I mean, you're paying $5,000 for a camera that cannot take a photo.
I think that it's weird that they shipped FX cameras without a cine menu.
Yeah.
I think that if you're going to distinguish your line in that way, let the Alphas have a menu style, let the FX have a menu style, and just keep them separate.
I agree with that.
I think that the choice from the FX3 and the FX2 is that they're basically alpha cameras. They're A7 IV and A7
that kind of
IIIs.
gives the secret away that like those are alpha cameras,
right? And they could shoot photos. And I think that it seems to a certain extent that capabilities are limited by the menu systems. Like it comes with the operating system that they're running on the camera kind of thing.
Yep.
And like this thing just doesn't shoot photo. And I would bet like a horse that
how do horses bet? How do they communicate that? Like
how do horses bet? No, I would bet a horse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like I would actually. Yeah,
you said you would bet like a horse. I'm like, well, tell me more.
Not like a horse. Like if I met a horse and the horse was like, no, they could have put photos in the cine menus, I would say, I bet you they wouldn't.
Oh.
And it would say, what are you going to do? Bet me in a foot race? Which I was running the other day, and I ran past like a fenced area that had either a juvenile horse or a donkey. I couldn't tell the difference. And it was like, I want to race you. And so like run, and it would run past me, and then it would like shake its body and like come back and do it again. We had a good time.
Who won?
The horse, Daniel. The horse, obviously. But I wasn't trapped in a cage, so I think I won.
Yeah, but also you have to go to work.
Yeah, so maybe the horse won.
Yeah. The horse is like eating carrots and running around the field all day. A little jealous.
Good point. Real good point. So like cine menus, right? Cool. A little confusing. I think it's an improvement. Let's talk about these file types.
A lot of file types.
Finally.
A lot of file types.
So The Burano could shoot XOCN, which is their compressed RAW. This is like similar to B-RAW, and that's like a compressed RAW codec. Maybe similar-ish to Red RAW in the fact that it's compressed RAW codec. It is not, like the Venice can shoot in all of the Venice's RAW profiles are XOCN, but it'll shoot like XOCN Extreme or something that's like 16-bit, whatever, not uncompressed. I don't think there's a true 16-bit linear RAW uncompressed on the Venice, now that I think about it. Anyways, but like that's their like highest quality, most least compressed. And then they have one below it that's like standard. And then they have one below that that's LT. And so they took the worst option off of the Venice. And that's what they put in the Burano. And that's what they're bringing to this camera, which is XOCN LT. And then in addition to having the worst version of XOCN, they decided to make two even worse versions that are more compressed.
Oh, wonderful.
Which are called C1 and C2. And these are even more heavily compressed versions of compressed RAW. It is still technically RAW in so much that it has not been demosaiced. And you are able to change white balance and exposure in post.
It still counts, I think.
It counts. It's just not like linear RAW. It's they're doing some fancy pants. So, like you can shoot in dual gain mode in XOCN, which means that they're doing some processing before they're delivering the RAW file. It's not purely RAW off the sensor.
I mean, seeing what you get here, I mean, it seems like the bit rate of C2 is the worst one. The bit rate is close to half of LT. So that's a pretty significant savings in terms of file size. So at least there's that.
You gain flexibility. It's still going to be better than shooting in like an all intra 422 codec. So
yeah. So I think it's good to have the option. I mean, we saw when we were testing the Pixis that sometimes dealing with those big files gets annoying, and sometimes what you're filming doesn't really need all that quality. So it's nice to have choices.
For what this is, I think it's the right call. Would have been nice to have like even better codec, but they kind of have to save something for the Venice. Someone's got to spend that $60,000. And it's nice that it's not the only thing. You get XAVC-SI, which is their 422 10-bit interframe codec, which maybe this can shoot 422 10-bit open gate. This would be like the second camera ever that could shoot 422 10-bit open gate in H.265.
Do you want to say what the first one is?
6H2S, Daniel. It's the Fujifilm X-H2S.
Yep.
They also have an XAVC-L, which is H.265 long GOP 422 10-bit.
Okay. That's maybe like a good run and gun small files.
Yeah, it's the long GOP. Oh, you can also do 422 8-bit in long GOP.
Should not be shooting 8-bit on this camera.
Do not shoot 8-bit.
Don't buy a $5,000 video camera and shoot 8-bit.
Dear me, please don't. Please don't. You're not saving that much data. Just don't. It also has H.264 codecs that are 10-bit and 8-bit.
That's kind of interesting.
So it's like you can get more compressed or less compressed. The H.264 is just going to run better on most NLEs. Though in 2026, I think pretty much every computer has H.265 encoding acceleration. So I don't think that that's bogging down computers like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I guess like for legacy reasons, H.264.
I wonder if it's for proxy type stuff.
Yeah, you can do some of that dual recording stuff on this camera and shoot proxies, I think. So
maybe they just kind of could include it because they're using it for proxies too.
There is still, which this is like the other thing that everyone's been complaining about with this camera, is the Sony limitation where you can't shoot in 29.97 frames per second in H.265.
That's a very odd limitation, that's for sure.
If you go into the menus and you go to XAVC-L and select like 422 10-bit H.265, you can select 29.97, and it doesn't even tell you that it switched it to H.264. You have to then look on the screen and see that it actually bumped you down to the less compressed codec.
That's really frustrating.
Yeah, it just doesn't do it.
Wow.
Too hard.
Wow.
Too much processing.
Yep.
Can't do
those
it.
Fancy cinema menus can't do that.
Can't do that. Nope. So maybe that's a deal breaker for somebody. Anyway, the data rates on the compressed RAWs seem to be lower than that for like the Canon C RAW Lite they're using in something like the C80. Unclear if the level of quality is the same. It seems like Sony is trying to pitch this as they just have better compression technology and they can deliver a similar quality image or better quality image at lower data rates, which I know that everybody probably wants. So
yeah.
smaller files, better quality. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
A camera like this, maybe you're using it for cinema usage, but maybe you're doing run and gun. And I mean, that's something that was frustrating to us on the Pixis, that you couldn't get a good H.265. So I like that there's a variety of options here where you can get the compressed RAW if you want it, but you also have a lot of faster delivery options.
Do you remember AVC HD and how whenever you took it off
with the weird folder
thing? Like it didn't really have a true container.
Yeah.
Like you have your encoding H.265, H.264, and then you have your container MOV, MP4, whatever. And AVC HD was literally just a file structure as the container. There wasn't a true container with all the stuff inside of it. XOCN, same deal.
Really?
Whenever you take your card off, it's just a bunch of freaking folders, and you have to import the folders into your NLE.
That's kind of frustrating.
Blah.
Yeah, that was the worst part of AVC HD.
It's just like don't give me folders, please.
Don't give me folders.
It's just weird. Just like don't.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
You're digging through this deep structure trying to find all your files, and it's very confusing.
And additionally, the indexing for your clips is independent for your compressed codecs and your compressed RAW. So if you're mixing between XOCN and like H.265, you're indexing separately, which is
strange.
Also potentially weird.
Yeah, that is really weird.
So, yeah, those are all the codecs. I think it's really cool that we finally have a Sony camera that's like this size, this style that can shoot internal RAW.
Yeah, that took them a while to get there, but they
did. Sure did.
They did.
It did. All right, Daniel. I got a few more things to run through, then I'll ask you all my questions. I know we've been going long. Okay, so modes. Whenever you're shooting this thing, there's a number of different like operating modes that you can do. If you set it into custom, you can then that's like your Rec 709 modes where you can set it to like some Rec 709 delivery. You can put it in a flexible ISO mode, which is kind of like your typical, you set your base ISOs and like can use your gain to offset or whatever. And then there's this Cine EI mode, which has like, this one's really confusing and I don't totally understand it.
Cine L, the Spanish word for the.
It sure looks like that. Cine EI. And this one, it locks your ISO and gain in. So if you whenever you adjust your exposure with like the ISO adjustment or your gain adjustment, it doesn't actually change it. So it's not like saying, okay, I'm shooting at base 800 and then I'm bumping the gain or lowering the gain in order to change my exposure. It leaves that constant. You're applying gain, and then it like does something with the midpoint of the log profile or something in order to change the exposure, so that you can like maintain a consistent noise profile or something. It's very confusing and I didn't totally understand it, but it's like this totally different means of exposure. And so it's like this camera gives you in an interesting way like this cinema feature where you can choose how you want to manage your gain and base exposure and how you adjust that up and down from different base levels.
Interesting.
And it does it in a way that's like just probably super unfamiliar to anyone who has only ever shot on like an FX3. But I think that it gives you a lot of like pro capabilities as far as managing what your image looks like and how you're handling your exposure. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like I've never heard of a feature like that. That's kind of neat.
It feels kind of like one of those, like sometimes, like whenever you get into a Sony menu system, it's like some of those settings are just maybe like too much. And whenever you're adjusting like the picture profile and it's like, now change the knee and change the gain. And you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why am I looking at an exposure graph on this thing? I don't know what half of this means. It has like that feeling.
Yeah.
But also it's like what I would want and expect out of a Sony camera. So I think it's cool
it's nice if you have options like that and you don't have to use them, but if you need them, they're there.
It's nice that they didn't necessarily limit it because they brought a lot of this like Burano, Venice type features like all the way down, which is cool.
Yeah.
It also starts up fast boots in like 1 second.
Oh, wow.
And
that is good.
It has a bunch of D-squeeze modes for anamorphic because you can shoot open gate. you're going to want to shoot anamorphic.
Good point.
You got like 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8, 2.0.
Very cool.
Lots of options.
Very cool.
Similar to the Pixis, you can, in SNQ mode, you can set your frames per second in 1 frame intervals. Anything between 1 and 120.
That's neat.
Anything.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Okay, Daniel. Let's burn through these questions.
Yes.
Is this an FX3 successor?
No, that's the biggest question, I think. And the problem is the price point. I feel like it's like in a different price category than the FX3.
The FX3 was $3,500 at launch?
Maybe a little more. It may have been as high as $37, but that probably was with the XLR handle.
I'm looking it up. It was $3,900 at launch, and then they raised it to $4,300 recently. Yeah, with all the whatever tariffs and everything and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's a $4,300 camera.
Well, I know. Yeah, I mean it's getting up there, but still, I mean, I guess 43 versus 49 isn't a whole, but it's the 43 is with the handle, right?
I don't know if that's the case. I'll look it up.
If it's with the handle, then the FX5 is still like over $1,200 more.
Sure,
which is a lot.
Without the handle, that's used. Ugh, yikes. Yeah, no handle, $4,300.
Yeah, so no handle, like it's
5 years old.
Yeah, $500 difference.
Man, I don't know why you would why wouldn't you? You're spending that much money on a camera? To me, with those price points, this is the FX3A, I guess, but
it's the same camera.
I don't see a reason why you would buy an FX3 over an FX5.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are going to be thinking, is there going to be an FX3 Mark II?
What would they even do?
Yeah, how would they come in cheaper?
How would they come in cheaper? What would they do to differentiate it? Like I guess they could put like the A7 V sensor in it, make it not stacked, and that would be like okay. Mm-hmm. But that's basically what they did with the FX2. Is they put the A7 IV sensor in there, and that one was kind of like weird. So I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Like A7 V sensor, basically the same. I don't think there's room for it. I mean, I think there's room for a $3,500 FX camera.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem is, you asked earlier, is there going to be another FX6? Is there going to be another FX3? And I mean, because this camera kind of slots in the middle price wise, but I still just feel like there's value in having cameras at different price points. And I know they have an FX2, but the FX3 is so popular.
How many different price points do they need? Mm-hmm. FX2 is $3,000, $2,800.
I guess the prices are all
FX5 is $4,800. Mm-hmm. So like maybe you slot one in the middle. Maybe FX2 is $3,000, FX3 is $4,000, FX5 is $5,000, mm-hmm. FX6 is $7,000.
Yeah, something like that.
So clearly they need another camera.
More cameras.
They just need one more. Yes. They got to hit every $1,000.
Where's the $6,000 camera?
Exactly.
That's what I'm wondering.
What purpose does an FX6 serve that an FX5 is not?
I mean, I feel like the only thing it has going for it is that maybe there's more, maybe you don't need to rig it as much. It has all the XLR stuff built in and stuff. I mean, that seems like the only real thing you get.
Input, output, and form factor.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe you have a second screen on it for a director and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it has SDI ports and built-in ND filters.
Right.
Maybe it has XLRs already built in.
Mm-hmm. It seems, a bigger battery natively.
Yeah, bigger battery natively. Yeah. It seems like it's literally just the advantages of the form factor. I can't imagine from a sensor and feature standpoint what they would bring to the FX6 that they didn't bring here.
Ability to take photos, obviously.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you got to add that on there. Do you think that similar to how ish, right? The C80 and the C400 are the same sensor.
Mm-hmm.
You lose some capabilities because the C80 has an SD card slot, not a CF Express type card slot.
Right.
And it feels like they kind of did that on purpose to handcuff it in
sure
classic
does.
Canon cripple hammer situation.
Yep.
Do you think that they might do something like that with the FX6. Like, to make the FX5 and the FX6 be the exact same sensor stack situation.
Sure could.
And then the FX6 is just a form factor upgrade for different production styles.
Could, honestly. I think it could make sense.
I think that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised if they tried to do something different with the FX6. Like, maybe they stick a global something in there, but that feels more like an FX9 situation. So, I don't know. I think that's probably where the FX6 goes, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because you're right. How many more things do they need? And this is a really impressive camera for $5,500.
Oh, for sure. So, considering this against the C80,
which I feel like is the most natural competition for this camera.
We've talked a lot about these like mid $5,000, $6,000 camera, situation.
Yeah.
This is competing directly with a Pixis 12K, with a C80.
Yep.
I would say maybe less so. C50 and ZR, those feel like lower end cameras comparatively.
I agree. Those are more FX3 competitors.
How does this stack up? I mean, is this a better camera than the C80?
It's hard to say. The C80 is higher resolution.
A little bit, 6K versus 5K. It's less capable, though. Your 6K only goes up to 30 frames per second, whereas you can get 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Also, C80 doesn't do open gate. I thought they were going to bring that in a firmware, though.
That does sound familiar. I guess it hasn't happened yet.
That would, like, the C50 did open gate, and they were going to do a C80 firmware to add open gate.
I feel like the C80 is maybe a better run and gun camera than this, but in any other spec, I would say this wins.
How so?
Well, I think it's you can hold it maybe more comfortably. Like it feels like maybe it's more like ergonomically designed for that sort of thing.
Bigger, heavier, worse autofocus.
But you get internal ND.
You do get internal ND. You get a SDI port.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And a timecode port. You don't have to use USB-C.
It's honestly probably just a toss up based on which system you're in.
I think so. I think this is a good competitor to the C80, something that we haven't necessarily seen. Like, there's been a lot of really interesting things out there, but the C80 has kind of like stood alone in its form factor and capability compromise.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you can get cinema style cameras that compete with the C80, but you don't get like the mirrorless form factor style cameras that compete with it until kind of this. So, how much do you think that the noise reduction control and the raw codecs matter for this camera? Like, is that the big difference maker? Can you compare it to something like maybe you're cross shopping this with a Lumix S1 Mark whatever, S1 Mark II or something? Do you think that the codecs that it has and the additional like cinema control features it have give it an edge up over like its mirrorless competition?
I think it makes a pretty big difference. Like we think that's maybe one of the reasons we like the image from the Pixis. And I feel like if you're using this for serious work, like being able to turn off the noise reduction, being able to use RAW are meaningful features. So I think that's a pretty big selling point for this camera.
I think it changes the conversation around these FX cameras in a very interesting way. Do you think this is actually modular?
No. It supports an EVF. That's it. And it's not. I mean, it's no more modular than any other camera that has a bunch of quarter 20s on it.
Sure.
I was expecting something much more interesting in terms of the modular thing.
Because this finally shoots open gate, does this make anamorphic more accessible for Sony people?
Well, surely.
Finally.
Wouldn't you think?
We can stop getting like super, super, super wide anamorphic and get just regular wide anamorphic.
Yes.
I think that's good. I think it's good. Finally.
Yeah. I'm glad they did that.
Me too. Do you think that the way they did the EVF was the right way to do it?
I do think so. I think a lot of people won't care about it, so they're saving the money, they're saving the size, and I'm still interested to see if future Sony cameras would support that same connector, because that would be a cool thing if you could take your one EVF and use it with your current camera and your next camera.
That would be cool.
But I think the EVF should have been higher resolution
and an eye patch.
Yes.
Do you think they should have made this thing chunkier and put internal NDs?
Probably not. Like, as much as I like internal ND, I think that, unless you can get a really good system, sometimes it can do a color shift or something. And I think they really wanted to keep this small to be able to use as a crash cam or something.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that trade-off wasn't worth it, especially with having like 3 base ISOs.
I think that's fair.
If they only had the 2, then I'd say maybe it'd be more beneficial.
Yeah, right. It's kind of addressing that problem from a different way. Doesn't shoot stills.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
I don't see why it would be. If you should not be buying this camera to take photos.
I think there's a certain category of user that is a hybrid video shooter where they need to be able to quickly move between video and photo, and they're using a single camera to do that. This maybe in a way just completely takes that user off the market.
Yeah, but do you think that user was going to buy a $5,000 cinema camera?
I mean, did that person buy an FX3?
Yeah.
And were they using it for photo? Like, probably not.
But FX3, like, I can still kind of picture like the YouTube content creator person who, like, 90% of what they do is video, but they also like take their thumbnail shot with the camera. But this feels like it's upmarket to the point that it's harder to picture that. I don't know.
It feels very much like this is for serious video work in a way that ostracizes some of those casual uses.
Yeah, it does.
I think
it does feel that way.
They want this to be for production, but also maybe be still a little lighter and usable for like single person type crew work.
Right. Like maybe this is the camera you get to start getting into video work, but you're definitely doing some type of serious video work with this.
You've moved away from your hybrid video cameras because you are exclusively doing video.
It has the cinema menus.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Don't forget that. The cinema menus.
But honestly, like that's like kind of a big part of it, right? Is that it isn't that photo camera anymore.
Yeah.
It is definitely a dumbed down like Venice versus like an upscaled A7S3. I think that's the right move for this line.
Yeah, I think so too.
So the last parts here, which we've literally just run out of time for, is I was going to convince you that you need an FX5.
You're not going to. I'm going.
I sure am. That's going to be very interesting. We need to compare this thing to the Pixis 12K, and then I have a game.
Oh my gosh!
And we're not going to get to any of that.
Okay.
So I'm going to punt all of that to some future episode.
Okay.
And I think we just have to call it, man.
Yeah.
It's just there's just too much here. There's too much super in the super episode.
We just went too far. Too raw, too compressed. Got to fit it all in.
I'm literally looking at the clock here, and this may be our longest episode.
It's been a pretty long one.
So yeah, just more to come. I mean, there's just going to be a 4th FX5 episode. Maybe we just have to have 5 of them.
Oh my gosh, 5 for the FX5.
That feels right.
Yes. That's it for the show today. Thanks for joining us, and if you liked it, tell a friend so they can check it out too. You can find out more about the show at www.cameragearpodcast.com, and you can find us on Twitter at CameraGearPod. We'll be back with more next week.